G'day everyone. Today we are not making music normally. We are changing the music industry. What if we don't use any sound for what it's supposed to be? Yeah, so we don't use kicks for kicks, don't use claps for claps, and so on, and make a song or a drop from it. That was the plan. I started with this little drum beat. I didn't use kick samples for kicks. You get the gist. I'm just gonna show you. I started with the clap and I made the clap from kicks. So as you can see, I have 3 kicks layered right here and they sound like this. It's just way too much kick. I've put some effects on this. EQ and compression, EQ and doubler, so it gets wider. I've rendered this out, put another EQ on that, and that's our clap. Later on I layered that with some white noise right here. Gets a bit more clappy. I made a kick from a snare. We have 2 snares right here. I'm just gonna play them without any effects on them. EQ and compression and OTT. And we have like a chest kick. And then I rendered this out, put more effects on it in the drums channel. A bit of decapitator, clipping and all that stuff. I made a hi-hat from claps. I've got this clap. I pitched it up for that high end and I added some white noise below that to layer that. And then some effects, again with EQ, OTT. Serum effects with a comb filter and delay. We've got this. The hardest thing was probably the snare. So the build-up snare I made from hi-hats. We've got this hi-hat. I have put lots of EQ. I boosted the lows because a snare is lower than a hi-hat, obviously. Decapitator, OTT, transient processor, and it goes to this transient processor. More EQ, alter boy to make it lower than a hi-hat is. More effects, I'll get to that in a moment. This is the hi-hat with effects. Then another hi-hat for some high-end. Then some white noise again to layer that with. And some filtering. In the synths department and with all other sounds, I also didn't use any sound for what it's supposed to be. Let's take a look at my chords in the beginning, which are these. Those are not from a chord preset, but from a bass preset. Yeah, this is just some splice bass preset. The preset itself, I didn't really change much, just in the effects. EQ, OTT, decapitate, RC transient, supermassive, EQ, limiting, kickstart, and then it sounds not like this, but this. Just a bit more controlled and chordy. I'm fucking lit again by the sun. We had this problem last week. It's cloudy outside, but somehow summer, but 10 degrees Celsius. But the sun keeps shining through the cloud, lightening me up like I'm kissed by Jesus. I'm not gonna make the same jokes as last time. You'll just have to work with it. So these are the chords from a bass preset. Questions? Up until now, everything's clear? Perfect. I rendered this, blurred it, and put a little bit of panning, so we have ambience. It sounds pretty shit, but in context it works. The bass is... I'm so fucking bright. This is better. Better. What am I, Scottish? Scotland forever! The bass in the break is from a lead preset. This is just a stock lead from Serum. I just turned it down 1 octave and the sub also. I put EQ, compression, decapitate, RP, and kickstart for sidechain. Bass. And that's the break. After that, I worked on, I just looped the last part of the chords and the bass for the build-up. It doesn't sound that interesting, but we'll get to that later. Later? What is that? Irish?
My name is Tom.
Any hoozles. I needed a drop. And I thought it was really hard to make a drop from sounds that shouldn't be sounds to use for the sound I want to sound like, sound-wise. You know? I couldn't use the bass for the bass. You get me. I made another bass from a lead. Synth lead hard from Smack. Preset from Splice. I had to turn off delay and reverb on this one, I think. Or did I? Well, I don't know. Obviously, you have to turn down delay and reverbs because a bass doesn't need reverb and delay that much. But I didn't want to work on or change the preset that much because I thought it felt like cheating. So just turn it down an octave, I think. Well, that already sounds cool, like a synth bass, but it doesn't sound like a future house bass, like some bass that you would party to and dance and drink, drop it low. Well, I should stop talking now. Let's add some effects. R-bass, EQ, decapitated transient process, clipper, sidechain, EQ, reverb. And this, my friends, is a really hard bass I liked. So I made a bass line. Why is there reverb on this? I just said no reverb on bass and I immediately grabbed my reverb on the bass. Layered some white noise. I kind of layered white noise under everything, I feel like, but it's always the solution. Just if you have trouble with anything, just put white noise under it. Also, if any doctors are listening right now, just put white noise under the bone. And the idea was simple. It fades in and then on the drop we have the bass line and it just slaps. Like that, so we have a bit of delayed drop. I also like the melody from the chords before, so I just took a lead, but obviously I wasn't allowed to use a lead as my lead to lead the leads. So I used some chord preset. Beautiful, really pretty. But as I put OTT, decapitated, Echo Boy, transient processor, EQ, RC20, EQ, reverb, kickstart, compression, transient processor, reverb, Echo Boy, and EQ on this, it sounds a bit fucked up. Whereas this joy just through the roof. I love it. This is kind of cool, actually. Maybe I'll make this a real project because I like it. You could layer the lead or the chord, the keyed. It's a keyed now. You could layer the keyed with some Lords. To be clear, you could layer this lead I've made with chords under it to make it fuller, because right now I've just a lead and the bass. It does the job right now. But this keyed could be layered with some Lords, is what I'm saying. Why is my camera focusing the wall? Stop focusing the... What is this? There's nothing here. Just take my lovely face, please. Thank you. I've had too much caffeine. Caffeino. I layered the lead with, well, not white noise this time, but some plucks and stuff to make more attack. And then we've got this as the job. Now in the second half of the job, I added one octave above the lead, the keyed. Yeah, we have the lace and the keyed. And the keys is layered like one octave so it gets brighter, I guess. Yeah, I filtered the keyed in the build-up, because the build-up, as I said before, is really boring with just the chords looping over and over again. Here is the end product in its full length. Let's have a listen, shall we? conclude my little experiment, I think this was really inspiring, actually, because the bass is actually sick. The bass made from a lead is better than many basses I've made before. I don't know if I'm bad at sound design then, or if I'm just really good at sound design. You know what I mean? That's it, I guess. I hope you'll have something you can take away and try it yourself. It's really fun. Send me stuff on Instagram, DMs, Music by Benedict. I'm really excited to hear some stuff from you guys. If you want any of these presets, let me know in the comments which ones and I'll give them to you for free. Yeah, also check out my free presets in the description from the last videos I made. Listen to my last release, Lose It. I've got new music coming your way. Just gonna make some finishing touches and some labels on it. Future's music if you're listening. I know you are. Stop pretending. That's it. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. Like, subscribe to never miss a video from me because these are high quality production, education, tutorial, entertainment videos. Short, hooker. See you next week. Goodbye.